prophets to confirm things that God has spoken to you. But I don't go to if I know of a prophet of God, I don't go to him and say, I need to know what God's will is from my life. I need you to hear from God for me. No, if he's a true prophet, he'll say, no, I don't hear from God for you. You can hear from God for you just as well as I can. Now, if God speaks to me to have me tell you something, I will, but you need to talk to God yourself. But back then, see, Elijah represented God to that lady. So in this verse, look at verse 13 again. He said, and Elijah said unto her, fear not. That's just same as God appearing in the flesh and telling her, don't fear. And do as you have said, but make me thereof a little cake first. That's the same as if God appeared to that lady and said, make me a cake. What Elijah was doing when he said, make me something first, he was telling her, you need to activate, put into motion seed time and harvest, God's laws of sowing and reaping, and release your faith. You release your faith by doing that. You need to give to me first. In essence, you need to give to God. He was saying, ma'am, you need to sow a seed. You need to give to God, into God's kingdom first. And I represent the kingdom. I represent God. So if you'll give to me first, what you're doing is you're sowing seed in God's kingdom, in God's work. You're giving to God first by giving to me, because he represented God. And if you'll give to me, if you'll step out in faith and don't be afraid, see, that's the key. Remember that third man that had the talents, only one talent, he was afraid to step out in faith and use what the Lord gave him. So Elijah was letting this widow lady know, don't be afraid to step out and sow your seed. Never be afraid to give your tithes and offerings into the kingdom of God. So Elijah was telling her, don't be afraid to step out and sow your seed. Oh yeah, you stand in faith, believe God, trust God. You step out and give to me. By giving to me, you're giving to God. That's what Elijah was saying. By giving to me, you're giving to God. You're sowing seed. And if you'll just do that, oh, it's not real big. Just give what you have. Go ahead and make me a meal. By making me a meal, you're making God a meal. You're sowing a seed. So God can take that seed and he can multiply it. Remember what he did through Jesus with the 5,000 men, not counting women and children? He took a little boy's lunch and multiplied it enough to feed over 5,000 people. So Elijah was letting her know, if you'll give to me, which is given to God, if you'll sow a seed, if you'll step out first and sow, remember, you got to give before it'll be given to you. If you'll give first to God, God